What's going on, everybody? Right now, we got some crazy news coming out of LA. So I'm gonna go right into it, just so that you know, I'm NFA JayShawn. You tapping in with my man's Joseph Lewis, aka Jay Adams, from West Coast Heavies and GQ Shop. But we're gonna go
What up?
right
What up?
into it. So if anybody who doesn't know right now, Big U just got caught. So yeah, this is pretty crazy. So the LA Crips leader, Big U, is accused of mafia-like activity. All right, so who people who don't know who Big U is, because I'm sure a lot of people who are not directly in the gang life, or maybe like, LA hip hop politics, they're not possibly gonna know who this guy is. But his name is Henley. He's 58 years old, and he has been a significant figure in gang culture for decades, gaining influence with the Rolling 60s chapter of the LA Crips since 1980s. Okay, so he's been around for a while. He has been also involved in the entertainment industry, forming a record label and collaborating with various music artists. Now, if he's a Rolling 60s Crip or anything, it's just allegedly. So I just want to say allegedly for that, you know what I mean? Just so that, we don't, put him on blast like that. But allegedly, prosecutors put his public image out there. They said that this guy was a community activist, that he led a criminal operation, and that engaged in extortion, fraud, drug trafficking, and human trafficking. That's crazy. Henley's
Hey,
nonprofit organization, Developing Options, was allegedly used as a front for fraudulent activities. Federal investigators claim he embezzled large donations intended for youth programs and redirected the funds into his personal accounts, and some of the donors included prominent celebrities and professional athletes. This guy also allegedly has murder allegations tied to him. Okay, among the serious accusations against Henley is his alleged involvement in the 2021 murder of an inspiring rapper identified as R.W. Or RW in court documents. After the musician had failed to meet contractual obligations and recorded a diss song about Henley, prosecutors claimed that Henley and his associate Sylvester Robinson confronted RW in in Las Vegas, where he was recording at the producer's studio. They then allegedly shot him and disposed his body in the Nevada desert. According to the federal complaint, Henley later ordered studio employees to delete surveillance footage and the confrontation and threatened witnesses to ensure their silence. His criminal enterprise allegedly relied on intimidation, violence, and social media to maintain control over his operations. He also has a COVID-19 fraud allegation as well. This guy's pretty deep. Henley is also accused of submitting fraudulent applications for COVID-19 pandemic relief funds. Prosecutors say that he claimed that his record label, Unique Music, was operating a $200,000 profit in 2019, despite financial records showing a loss of $5,000. This misrepresentation allegedly helped him secure pandemic related financial aid illegally. Wow. Wow.
crazy.
Wow. Wow.
That's a bombshell.
Wow. Wow. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. I don't think he's gonna come home after this. That's a lot. And when the feds grab you up, Jay, when they grab you up, bro, they don't miss, man. A lot of people been saying they don't miss, bro. Like they watch you, they plot on you, they spy on you, and then they get all the evidence. They got witnesses, they got rats all day telling on you, wires, everything, surveillance in your house, your cars, your businesses, your girl's house, your side chick's house. Probably your side chick is a rat. Yeah, they got all of that. The feds got all of that. And then they move in and then they lock you up. They ain't gonna lock you up first like police do and then try to get you to snitch on yourself. Nah, that's police work. Shout out to anybody who's listening to this. That's police. I ain't taking nothing away from y'all, none of that. But still, y'all not feds ain't police. They don't make people snitch on themselves. You know what I mean? This is big. This is big. So what you think, Jay? What do you think about this guy? What do you think about this guy, man? Oh, he's tapped out. He's tapped back in.
I'm back in, man. Just tapped out on me. Restream don't like
But
me.
yo,
Hey, yeah, man.
also
Keep going.
Brick
I hear you.
Baby too. I don't know if you know Brick Baby, but Brick Baby too got caught up in this mess. Yeah, man. Brick Baby got caught up in this mess too. What do you think about all of this? Like, what's your
Man,
opinion?
when it dropped yesterday, man, I was numb, right? Um, I was really numb, man. One of my OGs, man, Big Whitey, man, Whitey Enterprises, man. He talks about the feds all the time, right? All the Fed time he did, right? Bro, one thing you said, man, a state case from a Fed case. When the feds come knocking on your door, you can best believe they got something, right?
Got
They may
everything.
not have the whole enchilada, but they probably got 99.9% of that enchilada, right?
Yes.
The
Yeah, that
feds is
other
not the state.
0.1%, that's you.
Yes, that's exactly, man. That the 0.1. Hey, some used to say it may be the grace of God, but nah, that 0.1 ain't the
That's
grace of God.
0.01. Yeah, that's
That's zero.
you.
Yeah, that's 0.01. That's you. When the
That's
feds
you.
come knocking, bro, they've been watching you for years. Federal prosecutors and state prosecutors are not the same people, man. So when I heard, I'm always looking, right? Is it a state case? Is it a Fed case? Because you got two options with the feds. You either gonna snitch and do time, or you just gonna do time. It ain't no let's make a deal. This is not the show. The price is right. No, the price is wrong. You going to jail.
He said the price is wrong
It's
and it's gonna stay wrong.
it's gonna stay wrong when the feds come knocking. That should be a show when the feds come knocking. So when I heard it, man, I just shook my head. We've been through scandals in LA, man. I'm not gonna name them, man, because a lot of them is people I love and prominent and people know them. But you can talk about that off of air, and we've survived. I really, man, I'm not gonna say we're not gonna survive, but Big U, because God is everything, man. But Big U is such a major factor, right? He's such a major factor, bro. Like the
Yep. We're gonna get him back on the line very soon. But let me tell you, man, this is affecting the whole LA right now. Like they're saying that now there's a deficit of $1 billion in LA after this whole indictment thing. And that's pretty
oh,
crazy. That's pretty crazy. Did you hear there's a deficit of $1 billion in LA right now?
what do you mean government funding? I mean, the state funding.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't hear about a $1 billion, man. Last I checked, our conference was straight. Said $1 billion deficit.
Oh yeah.
That's
Oh
a lot of
yeah.
money.
They're saying now that the government is in debt because of this, and over there in LA about this. I'm trying to pull it up right now so that you guys know what I'm talking about. But yeah, this whole little operation. Yeah, 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 it was pretty bad. So Los Angeles faces nearly $1 billion deficit as it rebuilds, from so many things, including the fires. All right.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah, 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 yeah.
in-
We in. Okay, now that you're
including the
saying the fires
fires.
too, you're adding. I get it. I get it. Yeah, yeah.
Los Angeles is facing a projected shortfall of nearly $1 billion next fiscal year, and a significant cut and thousands of layoffs are nearly inevitable. The top budget official told the city council on Wednesday. Okay, so this happens to do with the fires. Okay, so yeah, I don't know what's going on, why y'all keep having fires like that out there, but we've been getting them in New York now. Like fucking what's it? Long Island. There's like 2 miles of Long Island was all burnt up.
Right, right,
My
right, right.
like, what's going on? And you know what? I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but they got these private companies sending these mirrors out into space so that certain places could get sunlight. Private companies are sending big, huge mirrors so that they could reflect the sunlight back onto the earth. So I'm like,
Crazy,
could it be that?
crazy, man. I don't. Man, hey, that's crazy, bro. Don't know what it is. Don't like to get. Like I say, man, I'm not a conspiracy theorist either, but this stuff is weird. All these fires happening, then we don't have no answer for the fires, man. Look, bro, I've heard,
Planes
we want to
falling out of
fire
the
this person.
sky.
Yeah, I don't know, man. All I know is it hurts. It hurts people in communities that I really care about. That's what I do know. And one thing I've been saying, man. I almost feel like, like I look so much up to Martin, and Malcolm, right? And then our brother that died a few years ago. Man, Lord, man, you gonna get me for forgetting his name, man. John, not John Adams, man, but another civil rights leader that passed, man. I feel so bad forgetting his name. Y'all have to look that up, man, and bring that back to y'all. But we've been sounding this bullhorn for a long time, bro. It ain't just been me, man. I'm the little homie on the totem pole, right? I'm the baby homie. But it's not many fellas, man, that got money, that got, they straight, right? You don't hear these conversations like I've been having with you, like as long as I've known you. I've been saying this, man, since I was in my 20s, man. Um, we just ain't prepared for something like this, man. And it's no excuse why. We've been very blessed, man, in Los Angeles, man. It's been a lot of money going through here. But I always say, man, this is what I always say, man, especially the black men, right? I always say this, bro, men, period. But everybody I've worked with, man, in the last 28 years of my career, man, someone gave me a third, but I always say, you know, it's one main thing, man, that breaks a community, bro. And that's ego. And then I'll just say fear for right now. But that ego, that keeps us from working together. That keeps us from building. I always tell everybody, man, I don't have to be the smartest person in the room. And kind of like what Steve Harvey said, if I'm the smartest person in the room, I need to go get a new room. So I've
Thank
always
you.
lived my life, right?
Thank you.
Because we need to learn how to collaborate. See, it's that like what I see what we do in LA, man. And I've only been watching this, man, since I've been in my business year, since '97. I've only been watching this since the late '90s. We wait for emergencies to happen. We're reactionary. My mama didn't raise me to be reactionary. I tell everybody, man, if
Yep.
my mama lived today, she'd be in jail or dead. Cause what they call child abuse is just what happened to us in the South. Like I used to get my ass beat for procrastinating, right? It
My
didn't matter if
mama,
I was
my mama
procrastinating
didn't
for
let
man
me procrastinate at all. My mama put me
at
out.
all.
She put me out. She goes, "You want to be lazy? Get out."
And how old were you when your mom put you out?
15.
My god brother been on his own since he was 14. So when people tell me you can't make it, I say, man, can't. It's something you need to go stick up your butt, right? We've allowed too many things, bro, to hold us back. We got so many excuses. We got a reason for every damn thing. And then when
Real.
something happens, we want to be like, woe is me. But man, what happened to those 5, 10 years you had when nothing was happening?
Mm-hmm.
What did you do with that? It's 12 months in every year. We all got 24 hours in a day, bro. So it's really heartbreaking, man, when I hear stuff like this, man, because I'll be like, what if we just had 5 more guys, thinking like you and I,
Listen, man, when I was 15 years old, I was put out. I graduated high school on my own with my own apartment.
with your
So
own
there's no
apartment?
excuse for nobody. I lived in the projects.
And you
Okay.
said when you graduated and you had your own apartment, no help from mama.
I had my own apartment. I had 2 jobs. I went to school, and then I also went to wrestling practice during the week. So I don't understand these lazy ass dudes that want to play video games all day, Call of Duty and shit. Like you gonna work all day and then you gonna come home and play Call of Duty
Well,
or
at least they
Fortnite.
working though.
What, you a little kid?
Yeah, I mean, because I always thought video games was little kids, but I
You a
did have
little.
a client that made a lot of money playing video games. But I mean,
I
I mean,
get
she got
that.
a.
I get that. That's
But
a
that's like
business.
one in a million that I know. You know what I mean?
That's a business. I get that. But
Right.
you working all day for some other person, okay? And then you coming home to
Play
play
video
fucking
games.
Fortnite. Like I know a grown ass man, bro. I sat down, like, we had like this little reception,
You
and
is crazy.
his you know what I'm saying? He was telling me, he was
Yeah,
like, "Oh
man.
yeah, man, all I do is play video games." And I'm like, I gotta get out of here, bro. Like,
Hey, bro,
I
it's
start
too. Hey,
scratching
bro,
my
look.
neck. Like, I can't be around people like that.
Hey, homie. My God says, the God I believe in says, bro, work while it is day, because no man know when the night comes. All I know how to do, bro, I don't know, man. All I know how to do is work, man, and get it. But I thank
Word.
God. Like I woke up this morning, man, just thanking God for my parents. Like everybody does not have a mom and dad like me, and I'm very aware of that. But then when I listen to brothers like you, man, the reason I love your story so much, and I tell so many people about you, bro, that have never met you, right? It's amazing because you've always amazed me. Like I tell people, man, this kid was 19 years old working on Wall Street at Merrill
Yeah,
Lynch. And
yeah,
then sometimes because I remember your story, bro. You and mom's getting into it. Your father wasn't really there for you like that. Mom's put you out. You
yeah.
got yourself through high school, bro, with a job, with all the BS you was going through in the streets, because you was a little hard head too, right? You was conflicted, the right and the wrong path to go. So it's like nobody's perfect, right? But look how far you've come, bro. Like you talking about the projects in New York, it's kind of bad, yo. Like we say Compton and parts of South Central LA is kind of bad. No, from what I've heard, you need to go to the projects in New York.
You know, I lived in the crazier projects at that time. I was living in New Jersey projects
Oh,
called
I've heard of.
Newark, New Jersey, and it was a projects called Stephen Crane Village. It's the same projects that Frank Lucas from Harlem used to go and chop up his bricks in.
What? Well, I
Yeah,
forgot that.
that's the
Yeah,
pro, and
I
they were
know so
shooting
much about
every
you. I be
day.
forgetting. Yeah,
They were
right, right,
shooting
right.
every day. And anybody knows about living like that, yo, every time they would shoot, we used to have to run to the tub. We used to have to run to the
Man,
bathroom,
bro.
bro.
Yeah. That's
Every
why I tell
day.
everybody, man, if you want it, you can get it, man. Your story, man, I can't wait till we tell your documentary, man. But your story is amazing to me, brother. Cause
Yo,
you
you know
made it
what's crazy, man?
literally.
Look, I could have went down the wrong path real easy. You know what I'm saying? Like
Of
by
course, you was already
14 years
there.
old, bro. Like me and
Facts.
my pops was drinking all the time. My mom used to drop me off on the block when I was like 15. You know what I mean? 14, 13. You know what I mean? So like I could have literally went down the wrong path. You know what I'm saying? But there was
Literally.
some in my brain that was like, what the heck? What are these people? Do they know how they raising a son? Or and then I don't know, man. Something clicked in me, yo. Honestly, this is what happened. I think it was wrestling that saved my life. I used to love to fight people after school all the time. You know what I mean? Because people used to talk mad junk in the hallway. So I used to like to knock them out after school, right? So one
Yeah.
day I'm walking. I used to always get in trouble for it, suspended, whatever. So I'm walking one day in the hallway and I look in the gym room and there's these kids and they're wrestling. They're freaking wrestling each other on the mat.
Right, right.
So I'm like, oh shit, they fighting. So I walked in there, right? I was like, what's good in here? Why y'all got a mat on the floor? It's WWF or something. What's going on?
Right, right,
Right?
right, right.
And they're
Yeah.
like, one of the teachers, this Russian dude. He's like Russian. His name is Galetta. He comes up to me. He goes, hey, you want to wrestle? You want to fight? I'm like, hell yeah. He goes, come on, come fight. I'm like, okay, I'm fighting, right? So I'm fighting, bam, bam. He goes, okay, you want to be on the team? I said, I could do this every day. He said, hell yeah. I said, hell yeah, then I'm gonna do this every day. So literally, man, every day I
Wow.
started fighting, wrestling, and oh man, and it just became a family thing. My brothers he became a wrestler. All my families, they're boxers. You know what I mean? So we come from a line of like just hand
Just
combat sports.
just
But
combat sports, yeah.
but now I started getting rewarded for beating people up. You know what I mean? Instead of getting suspended for it.
Right, you
So
getting medals now.
I'm
You
getting
really
medals. I'm like, oh, the principals is showing up. He's like, yeah, yeah. I'm
Oh.
like, oh, you like this? You want me to keep whooping his ass? All right. Yeah. I was like
Oh, that's crazy.
I was like one of the most popular kids in school. You know what I mean? They all knew me for just knocking people out in wrestling. And then when wrestling season was over, it was so boring. So I ended up joining boxing. And I'm still doing that to this day. I'm still doing that to this day.
Still
So
boxing, man. So you went from wrestling, then when it was off season, you had to do something, man, and you went to boxing.
boxing.
Hey, that's what I'm saying. It's amazing, man. That's what I say, bro. If anybody could do it, you know what I'm saying, it can be done, man. That's why it gets so disheartening, man, because like when I hear stories like that, right? Like I call those redemptive stories, right? And it's like as a filmmaker, like the filmmaker side of me loves stories like that. Like I would love to find five different guys like yourself, myself, right? Like you think about it, bro. Newark, New Jersey, bro. You think about the streets of Chicago, Florida. There's a kid like you, right? Like these are the stories that I get upset about that we don't talk about enough. I always tell you that, bro. I told you was a genius before you figured out you was a genius. I've been telling you special. Like your story, bro. Some kid right now, bro, that's waking up this morning at 14 years old. Mama done whooped his ass last night, didn't feed him. He waking up right now, bro. He crying, he mad, he probably socking the walls, doing push-ups. He finna just get kicked out the house. Like that stuff happens in Compton, LA, Watts. It's happening right now, bro. Like I always tell you, man. And as I was listening to you right now, I was like, see, these are documentaries that we need to make. These are the stories that I always argue with other filmmakers because everybody wants to make money. Like my dudes now, we making all these shoot 'em up, bang bang movies, and I'm like, bro, why are we still making those? Right? Like, why are we still making the shoot 'em up, bang bang movies? And when I'm listening to you, I'm like, see, that's why I became a filmmaker to tell stories like that. That's what I went to school for, right? Because I'm listening to you and I'm seeing you getting interviewed. I'm seeing the projects you grew up in. I'm seeing the flashback to Frank Lucas. Like I'm seeing the whole treatment, right? Because at the end, it's a redemptive story. This kid made it from the projects of Newark, New Jersey to freaking Wall Street. Like when I tell people that, bro, it like stops them in their tracks. Because they, number one, they don't believe me, right? They're shocked. Like, how does a 19-year-old kid go from the streets to a suit? You know, that suit picture you got in? It's like, how do they go from that to this on Wall Street, yo? Like, Jay, it's got to be BS. And I'm like, bro, I'm like, you either, I'm like, what can I tell you? But see, there's so many stories like that, right? And those are what we don't talk about in the hood. That's why I get sad about the days like this with Big U. Cause all of us, come on, bro, you 58 years old. I'm 50, bro. Do you know what I've lived through in Compton growing up? You know how hard it was to go from acting school. I'm the only black kid, and so I go through the hood stuff at home. Cause I can't go out my side. I can't go out my house without somebody gang banging and fighting. Cause back in the 80s, it wasn't about gang banging. It was just about fighting. Like everybody was fighting, getting stabbed. You couldn't even walk out the house. You couldn't go to the store. And then you got to go to Beverly Hills and go to school. And then you're dealing with racist and prejudice and all of that.
Oh,
Then you come, so it's always drama. When you live through stuff like that, bro, and we should care about the little homies so much that we want to bridge a gap. Because we've been blessed with a lot of money in this city, bro. And I ain't saying you can change the world. I ain't never on that soapbox. But I do be on the Michael Jackson soapbox when he says the man in the mirror. I've always said, man, I'm starting with the man in the mirror. But see, what makes me so mad about my city, bro, I'm talking about, bro, we got UCLA and USC in our city, bro. These are prominent schools. Cats go D1, go to the league. You know, we've had so much music money, sports money, engineering money, entertainment money, music money. We've had so much money, bro, that there's really no excuse for us to be doing as bad as we are. Could we change everything about LA gang culture? Like me and my brother who's in the penitentiary say, no, we can't. No, we can't change everything, but what we can do is we can make some different strides. That's all that I'm saying, bro. And I'm gonna land my
yeah.
plan on that. But we don't have to be as toe up as we are right now, bro. If brothers would stop being about their egos, stop being about their self, stop being about they fearful of each other, stop being so damn greedy, we can change. LA is too big, bro, to be struggling the way we struggling with these kids, bro. We can't depend on Compton Unified. We can't depend on LA Unified. We depended on all these people who really built this system, not thinking about us, right? It's like, bro, we know what we're doing. It's like it's not rocket science. We're dependent on these people to raise our kids, feed our kids. Asked my daughter again yesterday. My daughter's like, "Well, I'm hungry, Dad. Why are you hungry? You eat all day at school." Well, I really haven't eaten since breakfast, since you and mommy fed me. I said,
Yeah,
"Why?"
they
Because
don't
the
be
food
eating
was
in school.
nasty again.
They throw it out. They throw it out.
Yeah, it's nasty.
The food ain't, it's gotta, that's another thing too, man. Like, we need to really start addressing that too. Like, and I know this podcast is like in a lot of different directions because it's very like, socio conscious right now. And I'm starting to
Right,
show, I want people to see that the food itself, the food, man, like especially in the schools, that needs to be upgraded. I don't know, like maybe put some, I would say like healthier options, like maybe some like organic stuff, or I mean, I don't know. They spending all this money on junk food. Just do the same thing with just healthier food.
yeah, but you know, it's all, but bro, but that's the
Bro,
whole country though, fam. That's a whole nother conversation, right? But because that
that's why you
that's
see what
all
Trump
been about
just did,
corporate
right?
greed, though. Yeah,
I want to bring this up. Okay, I want to bring this up. Trump, I don't know what he on or who's around him, but I was reading a crazy article. It might have been the craziest article that I ever read in my whole entire life. And this article was so bad that I don't know anymore. It was just terrible. But I'm gonna tell you, bro. All right, I've been alive for about 3.5 decades, okay?
right,
And I remember going to school and I remember reading about the civil rights movement and everything that they had to go through. And I used to come home, bro. I used to be like real emotional because certain things get me. I'm a real emotional guy. Sometimes I ain't gonna lie. Like sometimes I might take things to the a little bit more impactful than the average person, right? But anyway, they saying that Trump just reversed the whole entire restaurant and businesses, and that they could put no colored allowed,
right.
no Spanish allowed, and all of that. I don't know what you think about that, bro, but that's crazy. Anyway, we're gonna get into that in another podcast. I
Right.
think we need to
Indeed,
bring
my
that
brother.
all into another podcast, like just what he did. But and that's all I got for y'all, man.
Man, excellent, man.